This week on Hermitcraft.
Let's catch you up on what's been going on Hermitcraft.
Welcome back to Hermitcraft News at Season 10. But before that, Smallish Beans ain't...
Yet again, Grian has multiple unfinished projects.
Imagine doing just this and getting 500,000 subscribers. That's where we're at. Welcome to the Hermitcraft recap. My name is Pixel Riffs, our writer is LoyXP. Captions on this video were provided by Liara. And the recap channel just got access to that fancy YouTube thumbnail testing feature, so comment below if you got the one with Shrek in it. This development comes with a special milestone for the channel. We just reached 500,000 subscribers, so allow us to be a little obnoxious about it as we celebrate being part of this awesome community.
Yay!
In the meantime, the Hermitcraft server has 2 more news outlets, as seen in Grian and Smallish Beans' videos. Between that and B-Dubs' televised court show, the server is one more reality TV series away from becoming a mainstream cable channel. Scar and Mumbo could even provide the commercials, and if they ever go off the air, at least there's 9 seasons of reruns we could watch. So without further ado, let's take a look at all the events and mishaps that occurred on the Hermitcraft server this week. Starting with Doc M77, because the ongoing mystery of who's been trimming out the diamond ores from Doc's armor trim shop is actively keeping him up at night.
I checked all the VODs, people were linking and whatnot. You guys been investigating. There were Reddit posts, there were timestamps.
I like those, those are funny.
He calls the Popo because he thinks Scar's been framed, and between them they discover another missing ore live at the scene.
As your investigator, I have to break something to you.
What?
No! Oh no, what the heck is going on? Okay, Doc.
Naturally, this sets off a sleep-deprived Doc, and he rigs up an alarm system which the ore snatcher will set off if they break a single block in the shop. The alarm also warps Doc to the shop as long as he's online, and if he isn't, there's a security guard who specializes in night work. Even this doesn't stop an ore from going missing while he's working on the sand pile for the shop exterior, and when Judge B-Dubs shows up claiming to Phoenix write it up for him, it's really so he can serve Doc a court summons. Fortunately, that doesn't involve breaking any blocks, or he might have had to add a few charges.
What do you have in your hand?
This, and I found these diamond ores in his place.
It's you are sued by Cleo?
Yes, you've been served.
We get the impression B-Dubs heard there were trial chambers in the next update and got completely the wrong idea. Good Times with Scar brings a build to go with the courthouse, the much-awaited Popo headquarters, which gets immediately filled with monsters, making it a great success, as long as you count the whole thing as the jail cell.
Oh, wow. Oh, don't blow on me!
But the Popo is threatening not just the local mob population. While Scar and Skiers were diligent in enforcing the no pop-up shop rule, another raises its head, the law of actually utilizing your permits. As such, Scar displays a concrete powder bar counting down to the deadline by which the hermits have to utilize their state-given permits lest they be taken and rehomed. A threat much more ungrian to have to do a bunch of paperwork than anything else.
This little dial here will count down until the first rule is enacted in the shopping district. Also, I made a searchlight.
The Doc investigation in the meantime is not the only case on Detective Scar's desk. Following the telltale snail trail, Scar discovers his diamond ore being resold by the 2 mischievous snails, and in lieu of other ranged weapons decides to throw the book at them.
I can serve them for you if you need.
Okay, what if they're snails?
Well, that complicates things a little bit.
Gastropods aside, BOO comes to the unfortunate realization that the Shorty shop hasn't sold any terracotta. So the most mileage he's got out of the manually fired clay business so far is showing everybody around the facility when they did a tour of everyone's bases.
Oh, they got you.
Yeah, exploded me.
Well, technically you exploded you.
True, true. I exploded myself. Yeah, that's true.
One stop that wasn't on the tour, because it wasn't built yet, is B-Dubs' new distillery. Hoping potions will be a more profitable business, he rigs up some semi-automatic, or at least redstone-assisted, coffee machines and starts brewing up with a few helpings of sugar. If you want that extra shot of redstone, though, it might end up costing you extra.
Like, if you unlock a hopper, you know what? Only a genius could understand what I'm saying, so I'm not going to talk about it anymore.
The extra redstone also tripped him up when randomizing whose face he was supposed to build at his base, so he re-rolled the result and decided to do both, mowing the nearby grass to resemble Skizzleman and Zedaf's faces and waiting until either of them notices.
It kind of... That's Skizz's face.
The crimes continue as the neighborhood friends do their spot of vehicular manslaughter. The mans they laughter are Skizzleman and Scar. The vehicle is a minecart going over a Sky Noodle false symmetry build that just so happens to end at a lava pit. Not that it matters, because both riders miss the lava wildly, then land on the ground by it and die anyway.
What? No, wait, I can't see. What? Really?
Scar, you sounded a little too reluctant to show me the world. You have to get...
Well done.
Hey!
You guys messed it up again.
I didn't set spawn.
Otherwise, False's contribution to the server is mainly the second cylinder home at her base, which she works the roof texture of really hard between all the various shades of copper. Well, that and finally addressing the question on everyone's mind, how much of Rendog is an actual dog?
Bulldog or a terrier?
I mean, we've got
Bulldog?
tails. We've got tails. We've got
Box up.
cockaxes. They're our tails from back in the day. I'm gonna go now.
If he is truly a dog, then Ren is probably related to Laika, because now he's a dog in space! Freshly dressed in Gigacorp livery, Ren has now recruited enough stonemasons to trade him terracotta by the half stack, but he needs the cash for that, so he sets about building the server's 74th pumpkin farm, the better to acquire some easy emeralds. He admits it's a low yield, but at least it's a high rise, making real difference to the planetary skyline. Now he's confirmed that the gravity is Earth normal and he doesn't have to make everything so flat.
Yes, I'm very happy with how they've turned out. And I do kind of like that the monolith sits in between them from certain angles. That looks pretty cool, I think.
He even gets a stylish new helmet that probably isn't Gigacorp approved thanks to his Mission Possible goal of slapping someone to death with a fish, which feels doubly earned when his opponent was Gemini Tay, who specializes in both PvP and fish this season. The Fish Point scores her a collab with Grian, who finds himself bothering a lake this week. Having set his eyes on the most valuable material known to man, printer ink, the two work together to reverse engineer Etho's Guardian-powered squid farm. For flavor, they even make the LA collection spot into a quaint little boat that you AFK on the mast of.
But this farm is more fun than the traditional river one. It just obviously doesn't work very well.
Also, at one point, Gem balances a Guardian on her head, which just reminds you that her third specialty this season is the horrors. She even herself gets carried away, designing the interiors for her riverside village to the point where there are hermit heads in jars and a rock with a heartbeat somehow.
Not here. Just when you're close. It's so subtle. It's so subtle. I don't even know if any of the hermits are going to come over here and even see that that's a thing.
None of this is found newsworthy by the crew of Hermit News, though they are working with half the staff we are, so we can't blame them. As if to help with that, Skittleman apparently sent Grian a present with a second staff, though it was retextured as a diamond.
Hang on, this doesn't look quite right. It's a stick. It's a stick diamond. I almost fell for it.
In the usual Uno reverse, Grian brings Skiz a present of his own, and it's a sculpture of what a stick is actually supposed to look like. However, he does this knowing that Skiz would never remove a present off his property, so that diagonal will just forever remain there like a very minimalist Trojan horse.
But basically, Skiz is the Minecraft equivalent of a hoarder, and if you build something like a prank or a present, he just doesn't get rid of it. He always keeps it around, like...
A much more confusing present shows up at Joel Smallish Beans' home, which is just what we're calling him now. Please try to get used to it. The gift, actually signed as from XP Crafted, contains only a damaged anvil, making the packaging, if not more expensive, then surely more useful than the actual thing. Little does he know, Joel has his own confusing mission from the Confusing Mission machine, and it's to convince someone to give up 10 diamonds pretending they're owed to someone else.
You owe them diamonds, you should know who it is.
I will murder them. I'm not giving them any diamonds.
Gem doesn't bite, but Rendog is much less knowledgeable about fishing attempts and caves. The joke's on Joel though, this is, at that moment, many more diamonds than he's earned from his honey shop.
So no receipts?
No receipts,
No,
I'm sorry, nothing. It's just,
No
you're gonna have to
screenshots.
take my word for it, okay, Red? You're gonna have to take my word for it.
At least the glowberries will remain stocked for a good while now, since Joel builds a moss-based bone meal farm and can just right-click an unlimited number of berries. The honey customers, in the meantime, he has to lure in person.
All the things I could buy if I sold all of this honey in this Minecraft world.
Pretty good. Well, I've got 100 diamonds here, so if people would like to buy honey...
Even though XP Crafted has moved out to the frozen ocean, that doesn't stop the neighbours stopping over to borrow a cup of cobblestone. In Corrales' case though, it's also he can bring back dispensers to assist XP in his homemade Guardian farm. To spawn the thorny fish beasts, the copper bulbs turn off and the water buckets flow, and as they drop out of the bottom of the spawning area, they drift down a waterfall and die of full damage in the pit of hoppers below.
That is death. Right there. Okay? But that you're gonna die.
if you jump in there, okay?
As we now know, XB also picks up the mission possible task of building a present at someone else's base, and it just happens to be close to Joel Smallish Beans' birthday.
Oh, yeah, I'm a quest giver. Look at me. That's freaking awesome. Look at me.
But he's not the only one giving out oversized presents, as Skizzleman collects the same challenge and finally realizes why Stress Monster gifted him a stick all those weeks ago.
Doing good deeds for people. I don't like people. I don't like to make people feel good. Wait a minute. I'm a hermit. I can do something for me, right?
He gives out real diamonds as well as fake ones, although that's mostly him gluing diamond ore back into Doc M's shop after someone, and we aren't at liberty to disclose whom, has taken them. Far be it from him to tamper with redstone, because Skizz is one of the many players who stop by to playtest Diduction, or as we're thinking of it, Pearldle, the redstone version of Wordle Pearlescent Moon set up in the basement of the Flower and Dye shop, which, if anything, just gives us another incredible insight into how deep his dad bromance with Impulse SV goes. Pretty soon we're going to see the Popo handing out citations for not having a minigame in your shop, but for now there's no shortage of people they can slap on the wrist for still having pop-ups. This includes themselves, of course, so Skiers tears down his powder snow igloo and decides the real thing is going to include clues to the snow maze portion of his hierarchy of needs. So you need to buy powder snow if you want any chance of getting through without frostbite.
And I was thinking about, I actually started to put players' heads all through this, but the water was popping them off, so I'll figure something out.
Impulse SV also tries his hand at deducing the 5-letter formula, but he has a redstone of his own to do back at the Cyberpunk City. This time it's more minigame adjacent than minigame related. He's finished the underground railroad to the mountain bunker, which he adds in honey stirrer shape, as though it's been revealed over time by mountain erosion. And the honey is stirring in the elevator as it mixes with slime and pistons to create a moving platform slow enough to play the Bop and Go jingle as elevator music.
Yeah, what could go wrong? Easy enough to make.
Azumavoid, in the meantime, invents a machine that sends babies to space.
As we get in closer, the frame rates are going to get choppy because look at that! Oh my god, it is baby zombies.
With his pop-up copper shop under scrutiny from the Popo, X has to make sure the production goes full shop size before Scar and Skiz become the only coppers in town.
Hi.
The worst part about this is you realize that I've come here for 2 weeks now and I've gotten no copper. That's a violation.
Are we out of stock as well? Oh,
yeah,
that's the real reason you came over here.
I'll admit it. I don't care about the permit office or Popo. I want copper blocks, and I want copper blocks right now.
Sir Scar, you keep those thoughts inside.
To help with that, Azuma brings back his Void Zombie Farm, once again tricking the undead into spawning reinforcements before converting them all into the ground, and tricking them into spawning more reinforcements. What we didn't realize about the design is that it apparently launches baby zombies out into unloaded chunks. What's different now is once again the customizable light system that lowers the amount of spawning space to help with how fast the hordes build up. Then all the copper is taken to the witch farm, where a set of pistons flattens it over already oxidized blocks, and the whole thing wears down to teal while Azuma is up there AFKing for wizard redstone and feeling like a redstone wizard.
But there is something that I didn't really think about that much, which is mining all of these blocks.
Joe Hills also has a run-in with the Popo, but gets off on a technicality because the item frame shop could only provide one frame for him to steal and post up his permit. Unfortunately for him, the same permit was taken down by a creeper shortly afterwards, along with half his wool shop and the adjoining terrain.
I'm guessing there was a creeper. I had hostile mob sounds off. A creeper must have snuck up on me. Scar, I don't feel very safe. This is a mess.
With suspicious timing, Azuma appeared to pitch the Wolves of Wall Street project to Joe, but Joe later confirms the creeper just wandered in from behind Mumbo's shop, so he lights up the alleyway and heads off to practice his awoo sound.
I've realized I should probably just message you when I'm actually on the server.
Luckily, Joe Hills is not going to be the only one howling at the Hermit Homedale. We all will be shortly hooting and hollering thanks to CubFan135's patented minigame madness. Having claimed his spot in the research university, Cubfan has decided to turn the whole player list into lab rats, as he builds a parkourful labyrinth for his friends to enjoy. You can even make the jumping puzzles easier if you can track down the levers controlling the trapdoors and win yourself a few more pixels to stand on. But what if, instead of being stuck in there for 10 hours, you instead use that time to mine diamonds and only diamonds? Well, Cub's got you covered there as well, as he now ran the exact experiment from last week all over again, but only focusing on picking up the diamond ores. Our takeaway so far, you would get a lot of diamonds. Watch his video and draw your own conclusions. Or watch Corrales and draw a bridge.
But I'm loving it. Like, just give it some time.
Corrales has made a list of errands to complete this week, and chief amongst them is to build a picturesque rope bridge to fish under. He even does his own research and crosses every other bridge on the server, once he gets there, obviously. And finally, there's Mumbo. As you might expect for someone who's been traveling, Mumbo returns to his base to find that bits of it have fallen off, and a lot of mail has been shoved through his letterbox.
Goodness gracious me. Oh dear.
It's frankly impressive he isn't the prime suspect in the Ore Snatcher investigation though, because Big Ron's is not exactly being secretive about having a lot of diamond ore lying around. Mumbo buys out the entire stock as an investment and uses the profits to go and buy some wool for colourful wireframes which can map out the rest of his cliffside structures, including a house he actually plans to live in. He'll need somewhere comfortable to sit down after Grian talks him through the process of collapsing one of his lungs.
I want you to breathe out all of your air.
Right.
Now scream.
And that's about it for this week's recap. Our writer is LoyXP and my name is Pixel Riffs. Captions on this video were provided by Liara. Don't forget to leave a like while you're still here and subscribe so you won't miss future recaps. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next week.